Yo, what's going on, everyone? Back with another Elliott Wave analysis. Today we're going to be doing a deep dive update on Chainlink and discuss how the Elliott Wave theory could be telling us that we may be ready to skyrocket to new all-time highs. Now, one of the biggest things that I always mention when looking for a coin is that you want to be looking for coins that are accumulating. Link is not only showing signs of accumulation, but one of the biggest things that we should be giving praise for Link is the fact that it has history within its price section. Dating all the way back to the pre-ICO phase in 2018, Link has massively continued its bullish momentum, and even with the drawdown of the 2021 bear market, it remained extremely well mannered and controlled in terms of the price action. Now, when you have a massive impulse to the upside on the larger time frames, as we do have here on the one-day time frame, and it's clear that you also have a five-wave structure, you can confidently make an educated guess that the next repeated fractal may occur with high probability. You can also predict that it's going to be a corrective move to the downside and then follow suit with a larger impulsive move to the upside for a wave 3. Now, the Elliott Wave theory is inherently based on the concept of fractals, which is one of its key principles. They are self-similar patterns that repeat at different degrees or scales, and this fractal nature allows the wave theory to be applied across all the time frames and market scales. This means that the 5-wave and 3-wave corrective structures can be observed in long-term time frames as well as the shorter time frames. As you can see here, as we have a 5-wave move to the upside, that's giving us the first wave 1, and if we look at this overall diagram of how the Elliott Wave complete market cycle works, this is where we were at, and that pullback we had was the bear market, and now this wave 2 is going to be assumed complete as we do have here, and with the 80 or 90% drawdown, that is significantly enough to say that the bear market has ended, especially within the cryptocurrency markets, where the average drawdown for a bear market is around 80 to 90%. And then we had a strong impulse off the lows in a 5-wave fashion on a smaller scale, just like we had on the larger scale. This is leading us into that first intermediate degree wave 1, and that is going to be now working towards another 5-wave structure to the upside for that primary wave 3 as we're looking for that wave 3, and that wave 3 is completed as 5 waves. And if we go back to this diagram, this is exactly where we may be at right now, and we're completing that wave 1 and now completing that possible wave 2 of the intermediate degree, and we're looking for a 3, 4, 5 respectively to go up to the wave 3. That wave 3 could end anywhere between $100 to the $300 target, and that right there alone could be a very handsome reward target if in the case the bull market does continue, and I have pretty high conviction that we may actually be continuing this bull market as we see the signs from Bitcoin, and we haven't had a true real run for altcoins, and also the dominance is showing signs that it may be going for a reversal for the better for altcoins. So with that being said, this wave 1, 2 can be taken in any corrective fashion other than a triangle, and in this case we have a WXYXZ, very clean corrective pattern that we had here. It was very controlled, and although the WXYXZ is very rare in terms of how these patterns work, we do have a very nice looking structure for a corrective pullback. And that is giving us signs, especially with Bitcoin's pullback of the cycle 1-2 also taking suit as a WXYXZ. This means that if bullish momentum continues for Bitcoin, the idea also remains for Chainlink as well, and just in a different time frame. So after this 5-wave impulse to the upside that we have here, doesn't look like a 3-wave structure of a corrective structure, so that is giving us confidence even further that this is going to be a possible extension to the upside now that we have this possible wave 1, 2 being complete. Now, we do have the option that we can come down for another wave Z if this is going to be doing another WXYXZ just like we have here on the larger scale. As long as it doesn't invalidate the regional lows of this primary wave 2, it's still a green light for a major bullish continuation. If that's the case, and we do break this soft invalidation, anywhere between the $6 and also the $5 range is going to be the next area of validity support before we go up for that wave 3 to the upside. And in this case that we do have a completed move here as the wave 2 intermediate degree as we have here, in my opinion, I believe that we can also be creating a leading contracting diagonal, which is a pattern in the Elliott Wave theory. And this leading contracting diagonal in the Elliott Wave theory is a specific type of pattern that appears in the beginning stages of an impulse wave, as we are also seeing and being observed in Bitcoin right now. It's going to be typically in a wave 1 or a wave A of a larger movement. And in this case, since it's not a wave A, when we're not working for or assuming a corrective structure, we're assuming that this is going to be a wave 1, 2 and then 3, 4, 5 to go into the intermediate wave 3. It's one of the few exceptions where an impulse wave takes on a corrective overlapping structure yet still moves in the direction of the overall trend. This is just the signs of the beginning stages of an accumulation on a micro time frame scale, and then eventually building our way up, known as the bottom up analysis, and then eventually creating the larger picture that we're going to be looking for here on the complete market cycle as drawn out by the Elliott Wave theory. So in my case, we have two options here. I don't think that there are any other real remaining options other than a possible bearish structure. If that is the case, we're going to be assuming that this is going to be an extremely big move to the downside where we may be working in a WXY, and this was the transitional wave, and this can be a ABC to the downside. And if this is the case, then it's going to be very bearish. But right now we don't have a real true actionary wave to the downside, and this move here was very corrective, and that's the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen. As long as we're above this of the first primary idea, we can still kind of reduce this probability of being a bearish structure to the downside. We're also not finding any real confidence of an actionary wave to the downside. So if we found this to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but since this wave 4 also went into that possible territory of where that wave 1 was originally at, it reduces the probability for a bearish structure quite a bit. So we're looking for this to happen, and even if we were to move down, we're moving correctively to the downside for another possible wave Z, and then we're off to the races for a larger move. So in my opinion, I think that we're still ready to be creating an impulse continuation to the upside. This is going to be a huge move in my opinion. I think that we're ready for new all-time highs, depending on whether this shorter time frame is going to be supported above this soft invalidation level or above this hard invalidation level. As long as we're above it, it's going to be an extreme bullish continuation. So hopefully that was helpful, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help. I have done 5 Bitcoin video updates in a row. If we are going to be continuing, please thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It does help. I will make sure, and I do find it to be very motivating, and I do find your interest in these videos to be a way for me to continue creating these videos going forward. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a fantastic rest of the weekend. Bye bye.